G'day everyone, here we are sitting on the ground in Kirikiri Bay of Islands. We're going to do a quick short tour around the Bay of Islands and out to Hole in the Rock in the new New Zealand update. So without getting too carried away, we'll just get going. Flick to the outside view when we're starting. Running my fictional scheme at the moment for myself. Just doing an auto start at the moment, just quicker while I'm in VR until I get all the buttons set up. Right, we're ready to go. We'll lift out of Kirikiri, we'll go for a visit at Stone Store in the mission house there, and then across to Waitangi, the Waitangi treaty grounds at Paihia, and then we'll head out via Russell and out towards Cape Brett and Piercy Island, which is Hole in the Rock, and we'll see if we can fly through it. So here we go, we'll lift off and we'll get going. Which way is the wind going here? Low controller batteries by the look of it, but that's alright, we'll sort that out later. We don't really use the controllers here. So on real world weather, I have noticed this little bug here with the Cowan Sim 500. No matter if you turn the generator or the alternator on or off, it doesn't turn the light out on the dash. So maybe that's because the key's not on. I don't know. It just didn't make any difference. Anyway, there's the main roundabout on State Highway 10. A lot of orchards and things around here. So I'm not sure if you can see, I'll point it out. Just while I straighten up here. Cape Brett and the Hole in the Rock is right on the end of that peninsula over there. So we'll go from here, we'll have a look at Stone Store, which is down here somewhere, then we'll head across over to here, and then out to Hole in the Rock, and then whether we'll land at the Cape Brett Lighthouse and call a flight there maybe, because rather than come all the way back and just cover Garran we've already done. So this is Kirikiri back in here. Start flaring actually because we're coming in towards Stone Store. We'll come up the inlet towards it, so we'll just go down into this little valley and go around the corner and back up to it. The terrain mesh around Northland is pretty amazing, even though it's not photogrammetry. The detail in it is definitely better than sort of say other places in the country where it's not so good. We're outside of the photogrammetry areas, but I think it maybe just they've had more accurate surveys in the last few years done possibly in Northland, so there's more elevation data available. But here's the old Stone Store. I grew up around Bay of Islands, so I used to go past this just about every week on our way shopping when I was a kid. But they've taken out the bridge, I'm not sure when, in the last probably few years anyway, could be a while now. Used to go across that just where it drops down there, and then there's the mission house just over there behind it. So these have all been fully modelled by the look of it. And we'll head off now towards Russell, or Paihia, I should say, in Waitangi Treaty Grounds. We'll fly past them on our way out to the across to Russell, and then out the peninsula to Hole in the Rock. We'll check out the old farm where I grew up on in another video on a future video. But this one here we'll just do more of the scenic stuff in the Bay of Islands itself. We'll see if we can find Haruru Falls on the way across to Paihia. Should be maybe around to our right a little bit, possibly. I'm not sure what this is here. Could be some forestry that's been cleared. It does look a bit like forestry. Looks like the Puketona Quarry over there. It should be actually, well, depends if it's I don't think it's marked in the Flight Simulator as an airstrip, but there is actually an airstrip that's used occasionally. I'm not sure what its status is nowadays, but they used to do skydiving out of it, and I think Saltair even used to operate a Jet Ranger out of there at times. It could be it just down there, I think. I think it was called Haruru Falls Airstrip. Come around. This looks like it in here. Could be wrong. It does look. There's not a lot of places else for it to be. Yeah, that'd be it. Just running along here. They've actually put trees where the little huts are, where the odd island. There's too many hangars there, but this is it running along here. I actually did a skydive out of here when I was a teenager. Alright, we'll start climbing back out of here. It's pretty much already in Paihia now. So the river's there. We'll just have a little look. See if we can find the actual... Maybe that's not the river. The river's just over the back here. Find Haruru Falls itself. Where the road goes across. Maybe down there. Maybe just over here. Here we go. Oh, there should be a bridge. And Haruru Falls is just next to the bridge. I may not show it because it's not a hugely high waterfall. Yeah, that'll be where it is there. You can sort of see it on the satellite photo there. That road takes you out around the peninsula and the back way back around to Waitangi. Right, we'll just scoot around the corner here. Waitangi's out around all these little bays around to our right, and Waitangi's just over to the left here. Doesn't look to be too much mottled there, like they've actually left out some off the ortho photo there. I think the treaty grounds are just up here. This will be the flagpole. And the mission house there, or the treaty house. I think it's one of these ones. It's been a long time since I've been back up here and around this place. The marae there. Right now we'll head back out across to Russell. Just cross straight across here. And we'll just follow our way out along the peninsula. The peninsula way across to the far left there, out my sort of 9-10 o'clock on the horizon, basically, not the island in the middle, the other one. There's a lot of big sheep stations out there, sheep and beef. As a 19 and early 20-year-old, I used to drive tractors and spread a lot of the hill country on some of those stations out there every year. Pretty steep country. Really plain country, some of it. Pretty hairy places in the tractor. Yeah, Russell. Right, we'll just keep on moseying our way out the peninsula. So we've got a bit of ground to cover here. We might flick across some of these little islands on the way out. 300 feet off the water. Bit of wind today, so you can actually see the water. Sometimes when it's too glassy, it's very hard to tell exactly where it is. Pull up a bit of height here, just get a little bit low. Might just pull up a bit more power and see if I can get a bit more speed out of this. Look at that beautiful turquoise water around those island edges. They must be using some of the satellite photo to show up the how shallow and how clear the water is around some of these beautiful offshore islands. Hence why it's called Bay of Islands, when you see how many islands there are out here. It's been quite rough some of the day that photo was taken, because there's quite a lot of white around those little rocks. And yep, we'll come around here. We're not actually that far away now, so we'll some of these are farmed actually, these little islands out here. They do like well, they used to when we did a tour boat ride when I was a kid, and they used to drop off the mail and supplies by a little cable car thing from the boat. I think the run used to be called the Cream Trip or something in the Bay of Islands. They used to, you could go as a tourist ride, but they just was basically a mail run to the islands. and supplies. If those aren't scanned, it's pretty high definition islands there, like pretty steep. They're not just like gradually sloping down into the ocean or anything. We'll come down nice and low now. Down to 200 feet. Got that wind coming in from our sort of 8 o'clock quarter of the chopper. Just keeps wanting to push us around a little bit. Starting to get a bit more rugged out here right at the end of the peninsula. There's Piercy Island out the end there, or Hole in the Rock as most people know it. And the Cape Brett Lighthouse should be up around on the little end of the peninsula there. So I went through the island once on a tour boat when I was a kid. I've never been back to it since, but not sure if anyone's ever flown through it on a helicopter, but we're going to try it today. I think the little island just to this side of it there, I think it's Dog Island, I think from off memory. Fur seals tend to hang out around there on the rocks. Cape Brett Lighthouse will be up behind us there. We'll go back to that once we've had a look at the island. So this is Dog Island here. A lot of white staining on them from all the birds nesting on them. So we'll do an outside lap of Piercy Island, Hole in the Rock, before we attempt to fly through the thread the needle through there. It's actually not a bad done model actually when you look at it. It's I don't know if it's hand modelled or whether it's a scan or someone's just used shaped the terrain to sort of closely match the island. It's sort of, it doesn't quite look like a scan. It could be just sort of a model that then's been hand painted, because it definitely has got that pretty good look to it. It resembles the island at least. So we'll go around from the other side and try and come through now. No seals on Dog Island by the look of it. Right, I guess this is the moment of truth, whether we can actually fit through there. We'll give it a go. Bit of turbulence through there. We got through though. Had to go pretty quick because I thought there might be a bit of turbulence, just the way that the it is blowing, and it would probably be sort of funneling through there a little bit, but it would be creating a few bit of turbulence off that corner there, because I think it's coming from out towards back in the inlet there. We'll see if we can go land on the top of this little... Oh, it may not be big enough, but we'll have a little look. No, it's definitely not... I don't think that's big enough to land on. It just looks like a little rocky outcrop. it's not big enough. It's almost photogrammetry, it's so crisp and clear, that island. Right, we'll head up and have a look at the Cape Brett Lighthouse now. This is definitely not as detailed as you can see. The aerial photo kind of overlaps. That's obviously very steep cliffs there with some spray up it, but the fact that it's sort of not really showing it as cliffs, I think that grassy bit must come out to a bit of a point and just drop straight up into the sea, but it's not really showing that. Bit of a shame they didn't do this in photogrammetry just around here, just immediately near the lighthouse here, because over there it looks alright, but just by the lighthouse it's just gone back to the sort of basic stuff. So there's the lighthouse. I've never actually been to the lighthouse itself. There is like a walking track out to it, I think, on the peninsula. Well, maybe we'll just land here and we'll call that it for this video. Just to keep it short and sweet. Just land down here. It's just some weird thing here with the I can throttle it up from a start, but I cannot throttle it back with the controllers for some reason. It just keeps it's like there's something clashing with it, but I've checked all my settings and there's nothing, so I'll figure it out at some stage. And so I'll just pull the power if that's the case. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.